Clan wars, bloody streets, millions in dirty money. This collection brings you 5 stories that became mafia legends, from the snow-covered streets of Chicago to the scorching roads of Sicily. This is not a movie. This is the truth, written in blood. Top 5 mafia crimes. Number 1. Valentine's Day. For many, a celebration of love. But in 1929 it became one of the bloodiest days in American history, and behind it stood a name everyone knew: Al Capone. America in the 1920s. Prohibition. Alcohol was outlawed, which meant millions could be made from it. Chicago became a battlefield for criminal clans. On one side, Al Capone, the king of bootleggers. On the other, the Irish gang of George "Bugs" Moran. Morning of February 14th. Cold, foggy. 7 members of Moran's gang gathered in a garage on North Clark Street. They were waiting for a truckload of bootleg liquor, unaware that their final hour was approaching. 2 wore police uniforms. This erased any suspicion. Moran's men assumed it was just a routine inspection. The men were lined up facing the wall and gunned down with Thompson submachine guns. 7 men fell dead. Only 1 miraculously survived but died hours later, whispering just one word: cops. The press called it the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Capone's name filled every headline, but his involvement was never proven. Not a single killer was ever convicted. In the world of the mafia, there are no friends, only those you haven't killed yet. And February 14th, 1929, was the perfect reminder that love and death sometimes come on the same day. Number 2. Spring, 1992, Sicily. The man who dared to challenge the mafia is driving down his final road. His name, Giovanni Falcone. Falcone was the symbol of Italy's fight against Cosa Nostra. He brought down hundreds of mafia members, but every move he made was watched by his enemies. May 23, 1992, Falcone returns from the airport. Beneath this stretch of asphalt, a deadly trap has already been laid, half a ton of explosives. The blast could be heard for miles. Falcone's car was torn apart. His wife Francesca and 3 bodyguards died with him. Sicily erupted in protests. But even Falcone's death didn't stop the mafia. 2 months later, his colleague and friend Paolo Borsellino was killed in the same way. He knew he was living on borrowed time and chose to keep going anyway. Number 3. Not all mafias kill with bullets. Some kill slowly with poisoned air, polluted soil, and millions of tons of garbage. In the 1990s, the Camorra took control of the waste disposal industry. But instead of recycling, toxic waste was dumped on fields and abandoned lots. Over decades, the land around Naples turned into a toxic desert. Cancer rates rose, children were born with severe defects, and the mafia made millions. It wasn't until 2008 that the government admitted the truth. The Camorra had been killing without guns, yet only a handful were ever punished. This crime didn't end. It's still beneath our feet. Number 4. Their weapons weren't bullets but shovels, and with them, they dug their way to €1 billion. In 2005, a group of thieves linked to Cosa Nostra began digging an 80-meter tunnel to a bank in the heart of Palermo. In one night, they emptied hundreds of boxes, taking valuables worth around €1 billion. They left almost no trace. Some suspects were caught. Most of the loot was never found. They didn't go down in history as killers, but as ghosts who vanished underground. Number 5. Joe Gallo. Loved attention, women, and a good fight. But that night, an Italian restaurant had a surprise waiting for him. Fresh out of prison, he decided to challenge the entire New York mafia, breaking the old rules. April 7th, 1972. He was celebrating a birthday. 2 armed men walked in. Seconds later, Joe collapsed face first into his plate of pasta. The killing marked the peak of the Colombo family war. No one was ever convicted. In the mafia they say, live fast, die young. Joe chose both. Different countries, different times, different names. But in every story the same forces remain: greed, fear, and power. The mafia changes faces but never its rules. They live among us, dealing in our weaknesses and vanishing into the shadows. And if you think these stories are part of the past, you simply don't know how close the shadow might be to your door.